Today I'm going to speak to you about places and form of powers. I decide to speak about Lieux et forme de pouvoir. The power is source of political, social and personal integration and is a pointer to tensions and conflicts. After correct search of this notion, the first aspect I will consider is places emblematics of power. Then I will go on to examine media's power. After put up resistance to power, finally I will analyze power and conquest. First of all, I speak about places power. Where did different forms of power set up? How did the power be seen? How did they pick up? Places were being taken to target when people search to say his discontentment and pursue the power. To illustrate this example, I can take the 11th September because an Islamist terrorist group led by Ben Laden and his organization named Al-Qaeda are taking the US and their brothers. They were hit at the heart of terrorism with symbols of economic and military people. The next point I want to make is about power and communication. To establish authority and legitimize its existence, the power stages, what is the government picture in the media and cultural events. As a consequence, I consider media's power. The media highlight the different forms of power, but also an important means of pressure. Also the historical power of the press. The press has the fourth power in the US. It is with this power that British press shapes opinions public. For this argument, I don't have a concrete argument because I think to be enough to take an article to see that its shape. But we also have to consider that resistance to power. The power seen as unfair and unjust, so people enter to resist. Now exists organized crime, which is an outlaw in response to a perceived abusive law. That is why on 13 May 2011, the newspaper Libération announced that in a Mexican paper, Zócalo, the director preferred to stop treating the subject of organized crime to protect their employees. Today, Mexico is one of the most dangerous countries for the press, with more 18 journalists killed since 2000 and 18 missing. However, I examine forms and protest and revolt. Struggle for more equitable and representative power against various forms of oppressions and subjugations of minorities. First, social demands. The relationships between men and women toward a shared power. Even today, there is worldwide a difference between men and women. It can be seen in the life of every day, for instance, at work. For women, it is more difficult to have a job facing a man because she can have a child. Let's take an example in previous years. Women have fought to have more rights, the suffragettes, in Britain, which give women's liberation movement. Finally, racial claims. The history of blacks in the United States, achievements and setbacks. There are many centuries, blacks and whites were very different, so much so that the whites were the masters. The news Uncle Tom's Cabin, written by Harriet Buckerstow in 1852, shows the history of Tom and his masters. His mistress, Mrs. Sinclair, says that if slaves are ill-treated, they deserve it. The abolition of slavery is unfortunately arrived late in 1848. In addition, the famous Rosa Parks did not accept this difference made white people and color and claimed separate but equal. To sum up, what strikes me is that this subject is always actually, because everywhere in the world it has questions about the power.